Greetings, programmers. Let's, instead of using these fixed boards, that unsafe board is kind of nifty, and I do think I want to keep it around. But let's have another way to place queens. Let's be able to place queens randomly. So if we want to place queens, what does that look like? So let's make this private to start off with. Void. Assuming we have an empty chessboard, let's place all queens. And so let's just, let's go through each row, right? So we said, each row gets one queen. So let's go through each row. We use a loop for that. For int I equals 0, I less than 8, I plus plus. Let's place a random queen. And we just need to tell it which row we want to place a random queen in. And I think this is complete. So let's keep our pattern going here. Code complete. Need to test. So now we have private void. Let me spell private correctly. Place a random queen in a row. Int row. Now I want to, in chessboard, take row, row, and column, and set that to a queue. But I don't know which column. A random number would be nice, and we can use so we'll need a random. And then we can say int call equals rnd dot next, and put in our big guy. So that gives us a number from 0 to 7. So this should work, right? We're not using it yet, but let's just make sure I don't have any syntax errors. What did I do wrong with chessboard? Oh, I can't use a comparison operator. I have to use assignment. That's why we do these. Get rid of these tiny bugs before they become a problem. Alright, so if I want to place all the queens, now I can go up here. Oh, and this should be the same. Should be code complete. Need to test. So now I want to place all the queens. So now when I build a board, here we go, when I build a board, I want to build a blank board first, and then I want to place the queens. So I think this is done. So let's copy these out. Run this again. All my queens are in the same spot. Why is that? Well, I think it has to do with the way random numbers are generated. So rather than have a new random variable get created when I run this method, I'm going to create that variable for the whole class. And I want to make sure it's private. Nobody else gets access to that. They don't know I'm using random variables. Hey, that looks better. So here's some random boards. I'm just rerunning this, and I can tell a lot of these are not safe. So this is not going to test my row issue, but I already tested that, so I'm pretty happy with that. But now I can come back here and say this is complete. I'm placing my queen just like I thought I was. So I continue to have these small chunks of code that I write and test. I thought I had one more code complete. Oh, so the build board. This actually is working exactly the way I want it to right now. It builds random boards. I'm going to call this complete. I'm going to leave that commented out because if I add new code, I may want that back, but I'm happy with that comment being in there right now. Maybe I can comment about my comment. Uncomment if you want to test an unsafe board.